Gervonta Tank Davis proves it as negotiations for a fight with Conor Benn fall apart over money and weight. What does he prove? He proves a point that many people with common sense have made about rumors around that fight. Let's talk about that in this video. Saudi Arabia is going broke. It must, because how could a fight between Gervonta Davis and Conor Benn on DAZN fall apart over money? Shocking. In this video, we are going to talk about Gervonta Davis and Conor Benn, and more importantly, Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, and everything that has been said about the money available for fights in Saudi Arabia and all of the claims of ducking by people that say Gervonta Tank Davis will never fight any of these guys, and how he is being so unreasonable and scared of fighters on DAZN. Before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really makes a big deal to the channel. Thank you to everybody that supports in the super chat. So, some things we thought were true apparently are not true. Specifically, that Saudi Arabia has unlimited money for fights to be made in Saudi Arabia, and that they are taking over boxing because they are paying these exorbitant amount of money for any of the big stars to come over there. In an interview on DAZN, Turki Al-Sheikh was asked about the big American fighters, Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson, including Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson, and if he wanted them over there. People interpreted what he said, for no good reason, as him having all this money in order to pay Gervonta Davis to go over there and fight Devin Haney. But he actually never said that. And now we see, with what's going on with Conor Benn and Gervonta Davis, that apparently that is not the truth. Because the offer, according to Eddie Hearn, or according to Conor Benn, was for Gervonta to make between $10 and $15 million. Between $10 and $15 million. Gervonta Davis in his last fight, according to many reports, made over $40 million in his last fight. So if Saudi Arabia is willing to spend any amount of money for a fight, why didn't Gervonta Davis get an offer for $40 million? Why is he getting a take it or leave it offer of between $10 and $15 million? Why is Matchroom, through, at least this is what I assume that they're doing, through different media outlets, putting out a list of people's market values, has the market value of Tyson Fury up at $30 million and the market value of Anthony Joshua up at $30 million, when none of their fights have ever generated anything near what Gervonta Davis's fights generated. Nowhere near it. In fact, I don't think that there's, even when Gervonta Davis has sold 20,000 300,000 pay-per-views, that their revenues have ever actually matched the revenues from his fights. But their market value is $30 million, And Gervonta Davis's market value is $15 million. It's perplexing, especially since they don't care about market value in Saudi Arabia. They're just willing to pay whatever for the fight. I think that's a bunch of pucky. And I think that Gervonta Davis and Conor Benn were never serious about fighting. It was just a troll conversation. And it may have served for Gervonta Davis to do exactly what people suggested he should do. Just talk to Eddie Hearn, talk to Turki Al-Sheikh and see what the money would be. Well, we got the idea about what is being offered to him by Eddie Hearn. Potentially a third of what he just made in his last fight. Maybe we can stop believing everything that comes across these titles on YouTube, and we can stop believing everything that's coming out of the mouths of promoters and the flunkies of promoters, and start thinking. Gervonta Davis is a 135-pound fighter who makes plenty of money doing what he's doing right now. You may hear Gervonta complaining about one thing or another from time and again, but you never hear him complaining about the money, because the money for him has been there, and it's been there very plentifully for him. And he specifically told people about Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Matchroom, I don't need you, because he doesn't need you. The fact of the matter is that if those guys want to come to the biggest money place to earn biggest money earning place on the planet for boxing, they got to go to Las Vegas. I personally do not believe the amount of money that Eddie Hearn and these guys are saying that they're making in Saudi Arabia. I'm sure they're making a lot. I don't believe the actual numbers, because if the numbers that they gave you, the actual numbers coming out of their mouth, because if those were the actual numbers, they would double them. And I specifically remember Tyson Fury saying he was going to make $100 million fighting in a 10-fight deal with, I think it might have been a 5-fight deal with ESPN. Bob Arum immediately said that's not true. Like, what? How much? I mean, I guess it's possible. So these ideas of guarantees and the difference. Matter of fact, I even saw that Gervonta Davis turning down making between 10 and 15 million is proof that Eddie Hearn had offered 20 million to Gervonta for a fight with Devin Haney. Well, if you're going to get $15 million for Conor Benn, well, you're not even getting 15. You may get between 10 and 15, which means you may get 8. 20 for Devin Haney, which, by the way, Eddie Hearn never said he offered, because Eddie Hearn never said he never got to make an offer to Gervonta. But Gervonta did what you want him to do, which is negotiate directly with Eddie Hearn and see what the deal was. And the deal is significantly less, matter of fact, 1/3 of what he made in his last fight. But you think that Gervonta Davis should go over there and do whatever just to make you happy. Okay, how about they pick up themselves, since you don't care, since you're a fan of boxing and not boxers, and you just want to see the big fights, why don't you tell them, who offered him a paycheck 1/3 of his last, to go over to him and see if they can make a fight that way, instead of seeing if you can take them both all the way halfway across the world on a 20-hour flight to somebody that has never paid him a dime before. But anyway, that just seems like right to me, but who knows? Maybe not you. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.